All right, Megan, thank you very much. Well, 7:49 now. The Bill Cosby trial ended in a mistrial, but the judge had said over the next 120 days it could reschedule a trial. But whatever happens, the fact that this trial ended in a mistrial, it's a big deal. Cosby showed his relief outside the courthouse. And joining us this morning is Cosby publicist, Birmingham native Andrew Wyatt, along with Ebonee Benson. She was a spokesperson for Mrs. Cosby and works with Purpose PR firm, Andrew's firm. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see both of you.
Thank you for having us.
You were both a part of one of the most high-profile trials this country has seen, with someone like Bill Cosby, who's been loved by so many over the years through television. First of all, your reaction to the mistrial. Could you have anticipated that? I know you would have hoped for something, not guilty verdict, but what did you anticipate?
Well, we were hoping once the jurors heard the facts of the case. He has always said, I don't want people coming in deciding or if I'm guilty or innocent. I don't want them to take that stance. I want them to come and hear the truth. We knew once they heard the truth that it was going to either be a mistrial or not guilty.
You said there's evidence that the rest of us did not hear that jurors heard.
It was so many inconsistencies in Ms. Constance's testimony. She gave a testimony. Now, she waits a year later to give this testimony. Now, they bring this case 12 years after they agreed that they were not going to prosecute Mr. Cosby. She gave a different testimony to the Durham Police Department in Toronto, then to Montgomery County, and then the current DA, Castor, at that time. And they said, we're not going to bring charges. Too many inconsistencies. That jury heard those inconsistencies. It took 52 hours for them to deliberate. They had one deadlock and they came back with a second deadlock. It was the longest deliberation in the history of Montgomery County.
How is Bill Cosby today?
He's great. I talked with him this morning. He told me to tell you hello. He was excited to go home, and his life was at stake. His freedom was at stake. And go home and spend time with Mrs. Cosby and the children and just celebrate Father's Day.
But let's be honest, and viewers, I know they're thinking this too. He admits to having this relationship with Constance. Mrs. Cosby's there.
Right.
You represented, spoke for her afterwards. We saw some of the video. That is a difficult situation because he is a man that people love so much in America, admitting he was having an affair on his wife. So how did the jury, you think they didn't think about that part, or they were just kind of focused on the woman's charges and kind of put that aside?
I think they definitely thought about that because this trial actually happened years before we made it into a courtroom. This trial sort of played out in the eyes of the media. So public opinion was definitely a factor. I think seeing Mrs. Cosby in the courtroom the day that she did come on closing arguments, and also hearing that statement from her afterwards, I think that resonated with the jury. It took away the celebrity aspect and it made them more like regular people. Everyone has issues in a marriage. Everyone has problems in a marriage, whether you're a celebrity or whether you're somebody from here in Alabama.
And you thought the jury was able to see that?
Absolutely.
You read her statement afterwards. You got some feedback. It was a pretty harsh statement. A couple of the lines that people thought was a little too harsh. Talk about that for us.
It was a very direct statement. It was a very truthful and pure statement. I think the feedback truly only came from those who did not come and listen for the evidence for themselves.
For people who didn't hear it, give us a line or two what she said.
She spoke on the district attorney about how she felt he acted heinously. The judge, who was collaborating with the district attorney, talked about the media, how the media used sensationalism to sell this story. She also spoke about the accusers and how that has pretty much changed the entire scope of everything that happened. I think it was a very powerful statement. I think it was very well written and very well spoken and directed intentionally where it should have been.
Andrew, what now?
Well, we are going to wait and see what this district attorney is going to do. I think it would be, this case is so polarizing. I don't know how you come back after a mistrial and try to retry Mr. Cosby. This guy ran a Willie Horton campaign ad saying that if you elect me, I will bring Bill Cosby to justice. And he did that. I think we move on now. Mr. Cosby wants to get back to work. We are now planning town halls, and we're going to be coming to this city sometime in July.
Like a town hall, just talk with people?
We'll talk to young people because this is bigger than Bill Cosby. You know, this issue can affect any young person, especially young athletes of today, and they need to know what they're facing. When they're hanging out and partying, when they're doing certain things that they shouldn't be doing, and it also affects, you know, married men.
Is it kind of a do as I say, not as I
Right.
do
Laws are changing.
situation?
Laws are changing. The statute of limitations for victims of sexual assault are being extended. So this is why people need to be educated on a brush against a shoulder. You know, anything at this point can be considered sexual assault. And it's a good thing to be educated about the laws.
Okay, and that obviously is a whole other issue because this was very to the point that there was a relationship going on. Andrew Wyatt, Ebonee Benson, thank you both very much. Tell the Cosbys we said hello.
Thank you.
Definitely will.
Thank you.
Good to see you again. Thank you so much.